Welcome to the May TBR video. It's going to be a good month. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of excited. We're getting a couple of trilogies wrapped up and off the TBR, get them out of the way. And then I'm going to be starting a few new things and a new trilogy, at least book one in the trilogy. Whether or not I continue with it, we'll see. I'm at least testing the waters of this new thing. Let's talk about it. There's also going to be a slight reshuffling of the order in which I read these books, just because I've been kind of in lockstep for the past couple of months, because I've been, working through the same set of series and such as I've been reading. So I'm going to start the month with some new stuff, just because I kind of walked headfirst into a brick wall last month with my reading, and it was a disaster. I will probably make a full video on that later on in the week if you're interested. Now, this month I will be starting off with The Snail on the Slope by Boris and Arkady Strugatsky, the Strugatsky brothers. I never can remember their first names. Anyway, this is The Snail on the Slope. Let me go ahead and just read the back of this before I tell you a little bit about it. The novel takes place in two worlds. One is the administration, an institution run by a surreal Kafkaesque bureaucracy whose aim is to govern the forest below. The other is the forest, a place of fear, weird creatures, primitive but garrulous people, and violence. Peretz, who works at the administration, wants to visit the forest. Candide crashed in the forest years ago and wants to return to the administration. Their journeys are surprising and bizarre, and readers are left to puzzle out the mysteries of these foreign environments. Brilliant, enigmatic, evocative, revelatory. The Snail on the Slope is one of the greatest literary works to come out of Soviet Russia. Now, this is The Snail on the Slope. Is described by the Strugatsky brothers that wrote it as their best and most complete book. It is described by everybody else in the world, or at least the ones who've attempted to read it, as the Strugatsky brothers at their most impenetrable. And to me, to that I say, challenge accepted. It sounds like my kind of book. I'm pretty excited about it, especially considering how much I absolutely adore Roadside Picnic. And it is, so far, the only book by them that I've ever read. But I hold that book in such high regard in my mind that I really, really, really wanted to get on to another one and try something else. I was going to do Hard to Be a God, but then I read the description for this, especially when I heard somebody say it was them at their most impenetrable. I said, my decision is already made. That was all I needed right there. So I'm super excited to get into that. Following that, I will follow that up with Night Side of the Long Sun, which I haven't actually ordered that yet. I'll get it here shortly. But what do I need to say? This is the sequel to The Book of the New Sun. Book of the New Sun is one of my favorite books, like hands down, of all time. Like, not favorite sci-fi, not favorite fantasy, not favorite whatever, favorite books, period. So I'm super excited to get into more Gene Wolfe, and I'm ready to go right on into The Book of the Long Sun, which is, I don't actually know a ton about. It's like, this one takes place on I want to say like a generation ship going through space, and it is a guy who will eventually receive a prophecy, and it sends him to rescue or save his people, and this leads him to discover the mysteries of the ship and the gods that run the ship, or something like that, I think is what I read as a description of it. And I don't care. All I need to know is it's the sequel to The Book of the New Sun, and I'm on board. So what this has to do with Earth and the new sun and all of that, if we're on a generation ship flying through space, I don't know, but I'm sure there will be plenty of breadcrumbs if I know anything about Gene Wolfe, which actually I probably know quite little, considering that the only thing I've ever read is The Book of the New Sun. Anyway, now, following that, I will be going into a book that's called, this is another one I don't have, Vita Nostra. Now, this one I'm going to have to look up another description, because this is one I've pulled directly from the comment section of, there was no anti-memetics division last month, and it took my reading month by storm, how much I adored that book, how good it was. Now, in that comment section, someone said, if you like this, you need to try Vita. Well, there was a lot of wonderful comments there, but Vita Nostra really caught my eye, especially when I looked up, because I'd never heard of it. So I looked up a description. And it is... Vita Nostra is a dark philosophical fantasy novel about a teenage girl, Sasha, who is unwillingly recruited into a mysterious and sinister institute of special technologies where she undergoes bizarre, transformative education that challenges her understanding of reality, language, and existence itself. It is basically described as dark academia and meets magical realism, like in the... like, how was it described? Often described as strange, baffling, and difficult to categorize, like Harry Potter if it was written by Tolstoy. And I'm just like, that sounds fucking amazing. Everything about that sounds cool. So we're going to try Vita Nostra, which is the first book, and I want to say a trilogy. And I don't know if I'll continue with it. Well, I'm going to give this book a shot. If it's great, we'll move along. If it's not, we'll just play it by ear as we go. But that was wonderful. I will try to find the comment and put it on the screen, because it was just, thank you. I wish I looked it up before I made the video. I'm sorry. But thank you to whoever recommended that one, because this sounds really, really interesting. Now, moving on from there, I'm going to read Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. We're moving right along. We're finishing up the original trilogy, the dramatic conclusion to the Dune books. At least it was at one point in time before he decided to continue writing with God, Emperor of Dune. And I will probably take a break after this, which was not the plan, but now it's the plan. Just give myself some breathing room. Anyway, and this is, I'm looking forward to this. I adore Dune. Dune's one of my favorite book series of all time. This is my very first time ever rereading it. So far, I've read it the once and the one time only. I'm not a big rereader of books. I don't reread a lot. There's a lot of things I'm excited to reread that I want to reread. Book of the New Sun, of course, is one of those. But by and large, I mostly focus my time and my energy on reading new things, because reading is time consuming. Anyway, Children of Doom. There's not much to say. It is the conclusion. We're following up on the Dune Messiah. I don't want to really even say anything, because I actually, could spoil the whole damn book, and I don't want to spoil anything from Dune 1 and 2, but it's so good. It's wonderful. Everything about it. Where we've moved on to the kids, because, well, I can't even say that because that's a spoiler for Messiah. Anyway, Children of Dune. And then last but not least, finishing up the month, completing it, wrapping it all up, it'll be Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. It is the last book in the, almost said the Farseer trilogy, the Live Ship Traders trilogy, and we will now have this trilogy complete and under my belt. Now, this was always supposed to be the end of my Robin Hobb journey for at least a minute, and I'm really looking forward to it. The first two in this are amazing. I said the first one was Ship of Magic was like a 10 out of 10, and the second one was exceptional as well. I felt the length on that one a little bit more than I do. I didn't feel the length at all on the first one. So let's finish this up. I really love this series. I love Kenneth. I love Althea. I love everybody. Everybody is so good. The characters are so good. The story is so good. The drama's good. Everything that Robin Hobb does, she does well. So this is one that I'm looking forward to as well. And I'll finish off my books that I picked for the month with this monster of a book. So we'll see if normally I read 5 books in a month, but well, I guess I am reading 5 books this month, considering that I had those first 2. I'm kind of considering the first 2 as one book because they're both so little. If I read little books like that, I normally double them up and put them right next to each other, and I just kind of treat it as if it's one book. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. I'm not even sure what I'm talking about anymore at this point. I might have room at the end to put something else in is what I'm getting at, but we'll talk about that in a second as well. Because next up, we're going to talk about the Patreon pick for the month of May. And the winner of the Patreon pick for this month is The Climber, and it was nominated by Draglogia, and this is not a book. This is a manga. Typically, the winner of the Patreon pick has been a book, or at least it has been for quite a while, so I leave space in my catalog for another book to pop up there. And since I didn't have one, I might end up having some room at the end of the month, in which case, God knows what I'll sneak in there. It'll give me a chance to just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. But The Climber is, actually, I don't even know. Let me look it up. The Climber is a critically acclaimed Japanese manga series by Shinichi Sakamoto, based on the novel by Jiri Nita, about a solitary high school student who discovers a passion for solo rock climbing as a way to find freedom and escape from the world. The series is known for its intense psychological themes, stunning and realistic artwork, and it evolves with the story and its exploration of obsession, solitude, and the human struggle against nature. It sounds really good. I hear good things about it. I used to get recommended that all the time back when I was doing like a lot of more manga read-throughs on the channel. The Climber seemed to come up all the time. For some reason, I thought it was written by the same guy that did Chainsaw Man, but it did not look like that's the case. I don't know where I got that from. It's apparently my brain is stupid and it makes weird connections that it should not be making. Anyway, so that is it. I'll be reading The Climber, and that just kind of dovetails directly into what I'm reading manga-wise. The manga that I'll be reading this month, or at least the one that I had planned on focusing on, was going back over to Gundam, because I finally finished 20th Century Boys. And this is, ironically enough, the only reason I'm reading this one is because it was nominated for the Patreon pick by Draglogia, of all people. And it lost. It didn't win, but I was interested enough that I went out and picked them up, and now I'm just enjoying them, so I'm working my way through them. So I will be reading at least a couple of these, and I'll also be reading The Climber. And if I have room for something else, I might sneak something else in there, more like a book, I don't know what I'll pick. I refuse to even hint at anything other than I'll hint at something. I might pick up Children of Time, because I'm starting to feel really bad for Aaron. He's nominated that thing for like 6 months straight, and I think it's never going to win at this point. Anyway, I might just break down and read it at some point. Anyway, everybody, that's it. What I'm going to be doing for this month. What are you going to be reading for May? And do you have any thoughts or feelings about what I'm going to read? Have you ever read Vita Nostra? That seems like a pretty wild and out there recommendation that I don't really normally hear people talk about. Anyway, everybody, as always, the link for my Patreon's in the description below. The link for my Discord's in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.